now what you're seeing is you're seeing, two defenders. Just envision that these guys, okay, are in traffic. All right. They're in traffic. The reason why I put this agile here, right, is just to reinforce to pick up the knees through traffic. All right. So again, hey, everybody put the ball in the right hand this time. So I'll be here with the crown. And what I want them to do is be able to, run through this agile. The reason why this shoot is here is to enhance and make sure, again, that I create low pad level. And that way they're reducing their surface area and they're staying down as they go through the shoot, which would simulate running through traffic or a gauntlet, right? Because gauntlet's on the other side of the field. We're not going to bring it down in that area. So how can I be creative? Again, I think that's an important thing too with drills is do the drills translate and are they conducive to exactly what it is that you need, work with? Okay, so again, you see the back here, he's reducing his surface area. So that's what I want to see is that, again, I see the wrist up, rubbing the number, right? Like he's locking the elbow. You can't see from the ball from behind, okay? And what he's doing, he's picking his knees up in traffic, okay? And then you see him reduce here. And I always like to have a finish at every point in time that I do a drill. I think that's very important, whether that be a can or weapon arm. At the end of the day, we have to continuously work on the finish, okay? I want to make sure that I'm reinforcing the finish in every drill that I do. If you can see here, behind that Tanner's foot, there's an orange cone here. So when I'm watching this tape from a bird's eye view, this is a different view, but I'm watching the tape from a bird's eye view, I can like coach up the finish, right? Like, listen, we're an individual before we get to a team. I am not trying to blow the backs out, legs out, and they are fatigued, before we get to the actual meat and potatoes. But we need to get some good work in, okay? We need to make sure again that we lather up the pads. We do a great job of getting quality reps, not quantity, quality, right? We only might get 2 shots, one to the right, one to the left. I just want to make sure I do a good job of doing that. So again, I have a guy here, right, making a move off a can. Does not necessarily have to be a can. It could just be a defender, but there's a finish component to it. All right, so Turbo here is reducing the surface area, right? Double in trouble, right? That he's making a move off the can. All right. See another rep here. Now the ball's in the left hand. Same exact way. Reduce your surface area. Okay. Pick your feet up, right? Pick your feet up. Run your feet on contact. Reduce. Make a move off the can. All right. Another rep here, right? Again, just make sure again I'm constantly reducing. Right. This is a bigger back here. So Jordan's about 6 foot, 6 foot and a half, about close to 220. Right. So the biggest thing for him is pad level. Right. Obviously, it's going to be pad level. So I have to reinforce pad level with him. And this is a great drill, right? I hate that he ducked his head, right? I like for him to sink his hip, but this is something that, again, that I can coach up. And that when we watch it together, hey, Jay, you say you ducking your head here? I don't want you to duck your head. I want you to sink your hips. Don't duck your head here. All right. So that's one drill. Okay, another ball security component drill. Again, talked about the 4 points of pressure here. Now we're doing ball hand reduce, right? So again, same exact thing, reinforcing, going through the shoot with low pad level. Now again, they're making a move off the can, and then they're reducing their surface area. Again, I want to minimize the amount of area. So say if that was offensive lineman, right? Now the D tackle, who am I? And they're engaged on the block, right? I got to make sure I do a great job of attacking the space, but I can't allow a defender, right, whether it be a linebacker or a D tackle engaged on a defender, to stop my momentum going forward. Because what happens is if I don't have good ball security now, like I don't like that Turbo's ball, I can see the ball from behind. You need to do a better job of that. But I don't. Well, the thing that I don't want is that if the ball is down at any point in time, when I'm running through traffic, I have to slow down naturally because I got to make sure the ball's in check. So I want to reduce, right? And what that does is the defender's engaged, whether this be the D tackle or a linebacker, working up to a single or a double on a zone or gap scheme, is that guy who's on a blocker won't allow his offhand to be able to make a tackle on the tailback because he's reducing the surface area. So now we've created yards after contact. Okay. So again, here, reduce. I love the reduce here by Jordan. See the reduce here? Great reduce. Really, really good reduce here. Another good reduce here. So now we got a reduce here again. One ball in the right hand. All right. Same thing here, right? Reducing the surface area there. Another rep over here, reducing the surface area. And again, as simplistic as this drill is, you'd be surprised, right? Like it's not rocket science. Those little things is again, I'm trying to put a heavy emphasis on the reduce, locking the elbow with low pad level. He's sinking at the ankles, knees, and hips. He's not being a waist bender. So that way, when he comes out of this, and again, this can here, making a move off the can, helps this young man right here to make sure that he stays on his toes in regards to being able to make a move when you get once you get past the second level of defense, and then a good reduce right here. Same thing here again. Now I'm doing it with the opposite direction. So before, right, I was standing here and he was going to the right. Now he's coming left with the ball in the left hand, right? Just another angle. Say this is a linebacker or a safety coming downhill, right? Coming downhill. He's the free hitter, right? Oh, this is a quarter safety, and he's again trying to engage or tackle you. I want to be able to minimize the surface area because it happens in different directions. Doesn't always happen from one way, and I think it's important to be able to utilize it with ball hand, not just offhand. A lot of time we use forearm shed and stiff arms, but the ball hand is as important, if not more, because that's where the ball is being held. Okay, so another rep of it here. Great reduce right here by Jordan. Again, minimizing the surface area. Now it's doing the same thing the opposite way. Okay, we're going right. Good reduce by Broom here. Another rep of it here. Right, good reduce. Doesn't really matter the angle that you're standing at. It's a good reduce. Okay, so what does that look like here? So doesn't matter the scheme, again, here. Right, running the gap scheme run here. All right, here goes the drill. Reduce, right? So this is exactly, imagine myself, right, as this guy, the pit defender, and the can, right? You're making a move off the can. You want to reduce your surface area with the ball hand. Now you created yak, right? You created yak because now, again, you're minimizing the surface area that you're allowing the defender to make a tackle on. Now that becomes a would-be tackler, another reduce. So he did it two different ways. We got 2 reps of it going in 2 different directions. Again, it can happen in ball hand, it can happen in off ball hand, right? So that's why I think it's important to constantly do that. And again, locking the elbow, right? And then again, does a great job reducing here, right? Does a great job reducing here. This is exactly the can. This is the can. This is me with the crown, right? I'm trying to peanut punch the ball out or grab that. If I didn't have good ball security here, that would have slowed me down, right? And if that slowed me down, that might be the difference between it being explosive, an 8-yard gain, a 12-yard gain, or a touchdown. So you see a reduce here, and Jordan's able to finish. Another reduce here, okay? Reduce, there we go. Reduce surface. I mean, that guy is clearly unblocked, right? Clearly unblocked here, right? But again, no matter what, like I tell the backs all the time, like, it is your responsibility to create yak. If it's even, the guy who's able to create more yards after contact is going to be the guy who's going to play more, right? If it's equal, right? But reduce your surface area right now. He just created, 2 would-be tacklers, and now he's able to again get vertical, right, with great pad level and good body lean to fall forward, and that all stemmed from the reduce, right? When you minimize the amount of surface area, now that defender can't tackle you. Here goes another rep of it here. All right. Different running backs. This reason why I'll show you. Reduce. Right? Reduce. Right? Great job locking the elbow. Right? I like for this defender to put the ball in the left hand, but good reduce. Great job locking the elbow here. Right? Can't see the ball from behind. Another rep of it here. Just different backs doing it, right? So reduce. Right? Reduce. Can you get lower than the defender? Right? I mean, the reality of it is most safeties, some safeties, but corners, they don't really want to tackle like that. Right? So they're ankle biters. So if we could get lower than them, then, and again, we practice this. If we can get lower than them, right, in these instances, that again creates yak.